The tragic end of notorious Boston gangster James Whitey Bulger. The 2018 prison murder of infamous Boston gangster James Whitey Bulger marked a significant and controversial event in criminal history, revealing deep flaws within the U.S. prison system. Bulger, who once led a powerful Irish gang in Boston, was killed shortly after his transfer to the U.S. Penitentiary, Hazleton, in West Virginia. Fotios, Freddie, Geas, a former Mafia hitman already serving a life sentence, was recently sentenced to an additional 25 years for his involvement in the murder. On October 30, 2018, just hours after his transfer from a Florida prison, 89-year-old James Bulger was found bludgeoned to death in his cell at Hazleton. Prosecutors alleged that Geas used a padlock attached to a belt to repeatedly strike Bulger in the head, though defense attorneys contended that Geas had only used his fists. Despite the debate over the exact method, Geas received 15 years for voluntary manslaughter and 10 years for assault resulting in serious bodily injury, to be served consecutively with his existing life term. U.S. District Judge Thomas Clee followed the prosecution's sentencing recommendation, deeming the outcome fair, reasonable, and just, even as the defense criticized the Bureau of Prisons' handling of Bulger's transfer and subsequent murder. The judge dismissed more severe charges, including murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, which carried potential life sentences. Assistant U.S. Attorney Brandon Flower highlighted the ages of both Bulger and Geas, noting that Geas will likely spend the remainder of his life behind bars. Fotios, Freddie, Geas, although deeply involved with the Mafia, was never officially made a member due to his Greek heritage. Along with his brother, Geas was sentenced to life in 2011 for his role in multiple violent crimes, including the 2003 killing of Genevieve's crime family boss Adolfo Big Al Bruno. Geas's role in Bulger's murder was partly facilitated by fellow inmate Paul J. DeCollegiero, who served as a lookout and was sentenced to an additional 4 years. A third accomplice, Sean McKinnon, was returned to Florida to complete his supervised release after pleading guilty to lying to FBI agents. The murder of James Bulger, a high-profile federal inmate, drew scrutiny and criticism regarding his transfer to Hazleton, a facility already notorious for violence and understaffing issues. A Justice Department Inspector General's report in 2022 found that multiple layers of management failures and incompetence within the Bureau of Prisons had left Bulger vulnerable to attack. Although the investigation did not find evidence of malicious intent by prison staff, it concluded that bureaucratic mismanagement directly contributed to Bulger's death. Defense attorney Nathan Chambers condemned the Bureau's handling of Bulger's case as shocking and egregious, arguing that there was no evidence of a weapon being used in the killing. Despite these contentions, the prosecution maintained that the agreed-upon facts of the case clearly outlined Geas's culpability. Following Bulger's death, significant reforms have been called for within the federal prison system. In 2022, a federal judge dismissed a lawsuit filed by Bulger's family against the Bureau of Prisons and several unnamed employees, but the case has continued to fuel debates over prison oversight and accountability. In July, the U.S. Senate passed legislation aimed at increasing transparency and oversight of the federal prison system, following a series of investigative reports that exposed systemic corruption. The tragic end of James Whitey Bulger serves as a stark reminder of the deep-seated issues within the U.S. correctional system and the ongoing need for reform to prevent similar incidents in the future.